go Marion.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marion. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that a lot can happen in a short amount of time. It could be a matter of months, weeks, days, or even a moment. Now, imagine a time when everything in your life was going just fine. Everything that you had worked so hard for up until that point was coming together. And just like that, it's all gone. Everything you had worked so hard for, gone. I just graduated high school, and it was a summer of what was supposed to be the best summer of my adolescence. And I was preparing for the next big chapter in my life. Then one doctor's visit threw me in an unexpected whirlwind into a totally different life. So you guys can kind of guess what's about to happen. I went through a change that was life-altering and self-evaluating, and I was diagnosed with diabetes. Now, I'm here today to share with you a personal experience. This personal experience redefined me. I have the same personality, I still have the same sense of humor, tastes, and preferences, but my perspective on life has changed completely. After evaluating the survey results, those of you who answered said that you'd prefer to learn about my personal experience with diabetes. Well, the person I was before my diagnosis and the person I am today is completely different, like I said. And I just want to start by sharing with you my personal experience and then the changes I went through and then how I reacted towards those changes and then my recovery. And hopefully through all of this, all of you will have a new acceptance towards change and also have a new respect for others going through change and gain a hope for your future. My story begins with me getting sick. Sick to the point where I couldn't really eat anything, and I had no idea why. Imagine crying because everything you ate made your stomach physically hurt, and the only thing you could consume was water. And I was so thirsty all the time. I would chug water bottle after water bottle, only to find myself not quenching my thirst and running to the restroom a second later, and the second after that. Now, on the morning of July 28th, 2011, I was at the doctor's office by myself when I heard the word, diabetic. And I smiled and I said, oh. The meaning behind the word took a second to soak in through all the shock. I listened to him some more and he really hit home. He said, yeah, you're going to have to change your entire lifestyle. And then the first emotion that hit me like a baseball to the jaw was fear. I was so frightened of what this word meant, and he continued. No sugar, no carbs, no red meat, no fruits, no spicy sauces, no fried food, no juice, and the list started to blur along with my vision because I couldn't hold the tears back any longer. So for those of you who don't know, diabetes can be fatal, and along with diabetes comes with a lot of other diseases and illnesses. So I was put on so much medication, 2 different kinds of insulins, oral medication, metformin, cholesterol medication, antacids, strips for my ketosis, vitamins, and so many supplements. It was so overwhelming. And I had a hard time administering all my medication and monitoring my blood sugar. I just didn't really understand. And that's when me and my family decided it wasn't such a good idea to move across the country to go to school. I was actually supposed to go to school at St. John's University in New York. And a week before ASU classes started, I rushed to get my application in. I got accepted when classes had already begun, it was Agile week, I had a day to register for classes. And I did it all in bitterness, because frankly, I just didn't want to be here. I felt like everything I had worked for was gone, and I had to constantly remind myself that this was something I had to deal with. And I was crushed and devastated, but this wasn't failure. This was a challenge. This was something that I had to get through to be able to be back on the track towards my goals and my dreams. So I decided I needed to change my attitude. So I did just that. I changed my perspective on things, and I changed my lifestyle, and I continued to work hard to stay healthy and happy. Now, through all of this, I realized that it does you no good to be bitter or let bitterness consume you. I felt sorry for myself, and I realized, what's the point in that? You can't look at the person next to you and say, why is my life so much worse off than theirs? Because you don't know. We all don't know. So I had to take a step back and be grateful for the blessings I did have in my life. And I had to also realize that I need to respect others, because I wasn't the only person going through a tough time in life. And even though, to me, this was a drastic change, and for me it was hard to overcome, I realized that you make the best of your situation. And so now I have a gratitude for the blessings I have in my life, and I have a newfound respect for the changes in other people's lives, and I have a hope for my future. So after sharing with you all the changes I've gone through in my personal story, I hope that you too can kind of get a glimpse and realize that accepting change is hard, but it's necessary. And it's also necessary to take a step back and respect the changes going in other people's lives. And also be hopeful for your own future, because if you allow it to be better and make the best and most out of your situation, everything will be okay. So that's my story, and thank you. And does anyone have any questions?